Good morning. Welcome to today's Wednesday ad-free live stream. Welcome. My name is Tyler. I'm super pumped that you're here this morning. I'm here to help navigate you through the wild world of day trading futures. During these live streams, I'm going to be breaking down live price action, my daily trading bias, and sharing real-time trades to give you a front row seat to all the action. No fluff, just the good stuff. If you're watching this after the stream, you can jump right to the key moments using the chapter markers below. You'll find all the trades that I've taken along with a detailed explanation of what I was thinking and why, so that you can learn and become profitable yourself. That's ultimately the goal here, is not for you to become dependent on me, but to learn how to trade yourself without anybody there. And for those of you ready to take your trading to the next level, I've got a special discount for my community. You can use the code DTJ. I linked it in the chat to get 80% off your next eval to start your own funded journey with Apex. Right now, that comes out for a 50K account, about $33. For a 25K account, about $29. You can get started using a eval account. You can find all the links and codes in the description of this video. And let's go ahead, open in prayer, and get rocking and rolling this morning. Actually, let me adjust this camera here. There we go. Father, we honor you today. We honor you with our trading. Father, we choose to receive what you have for us today. We choose to be patient. We choose to be patient and wait for what you have for us this morning, Father. We just reject any spirit of greed, any selfish ambition, any lust for money, for power, for more. Father, we just come against that in Jesus' name. And Father, we thank you that you've given us this ability to produce wealth. And Father, we pray that in this we would honor you, we would glorify your name. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Sorry, I got bacon in my teeth. My wife bought this bacon that was the thickest bacon I think I've ever had. It was amazing. It was amazing. Sorry. I mean, it was so thick you could have bacon for breakfast and be happy. It was gigantic. Okay, so let's get rocking and rolling this morning. Good morning, Villainous, Jay, Sandra, Pete. Glad to have you guys this morning. What a whirlwind of a day yesterday. And over during the election cycle, right at 9 p.m. That was when the final, I think it was one of the final polling locations closed on the east or west coast. And boom, it just shot up. It was pretty fun to watch. I did take a demo long. I'm like, I'm gonna play this. So I got in long here and boom. I sold it. I mean, it made absolutely no money because I didn't trade it. It's in the car. So I was not going to mess around with that. And to be quite frank with you guys, we could see something like that today. We're going to see what's going to happen here. So let's go ahead and mark our highs and lows. I mean, I look at it. Like, I'm not even going to mark our low. Do you see that? We have our high from the previous day. It's right here. And look at that. We just blown through that. So if it's in my mind, it's going to be a single break day as far as the type of day we're going to get. And my expectation is we're probably going to play inside the range we've already created. Could we run for this high right here? Absolutely. That could totally be in the cards. I don't think there's anything that could not be possible right now. So we did run through October 30th's new day opening gap. So, and let's go ahead. I'm not even sure if I'm going to, let's see, where would we be at? All right, so it'd be over here. Yeah, our new day opening gap for today is going to be right here. So we're just going to mark, I'm just going to put a single line on there. I'm not going to even do the gap. There's no gap. It's just a line. I just want to reference this level. So 11.6. And then we're going to find our midnight open here. Midnight. So we had all this movement yesterday. Oh, look at that movement after midnight open. So midnight happened and we have this rebalance candle. Pretty crazy. There we go. Midnight. Now today's going to be one of those days I'm going to want to look at ES. I want to see how it's performed, if we have any SMTs and so forth. Okay. And then this whole space, guys, like what I'm talking about. November 11th, where is that? Where was that? Down here. This is this whole space here. This is, I mean, not even exact. That's the new day opening gap. That's 2,052 or 652 to 360. We're talking 300 handles. That sucker's huge. That's huge. So we're gonna just mark that, and I only care about where it's going to be opening, just so I can have a reference point. I'm just gonna leave this over here for right now. Right at the open, I'm gonna do my I'm gonna be testing out again the 930 model, and then we'll be doing the rest of the trades on screen. Let's hit, as long as we get, well, it's a low day today, so let's hit 10 likes. Hit 10 likes, and then we'll do on screen trading. Alki, Cubic, good morning. How you guys doing? Jordy, how you doing, my friend? Villainous, I've been in a long on some micros on ES from yesterday. Well, yeah, I mean, depends on when you get on. If you got in, if you're a bullish Trump and you're willing to do that type of gambling, well, good for you. I'm not. Good morning, Ted. From Monday could have held ES9. Oh, you absolutely could have held from Monday, but I mean, hindsight is always 20/20. Yeah, if you do swing trading, or you have higher targets, or if you trade on higher time frames, absolutely. Totally doable. So, what do we expect here this morning? We've already tagged midnight open once here. We've ran through it once here. Tagged it. We didn't tag it in the AM, the London session, but we did tag it here in the pre-market. Honestly, I think I'm going to want to let things work itself out. So I'm probably going to be a little shy initially. I just want to see how things are going to play out. We do have orange folder news. We have some PMI, what is that? IV PMI, and we have crude oil inventories at 10:30. So 10 and 10:30. All orange folder news, so it's not going to really hinder us in our trading here this morning. So I'm not really concerned about that. Good morning, Wilhelm. I was up late last night for obvious reasons. I am very, very glad to say that there were two propositions, ballot propositions for the state of Nebraska. And my wife was basically asked to do an advertisement for one of them, and her ad went throughout the entire state. And it was a pro-life initiative to protect unborn children. And there was another initiative that the pro-choice community was pushing for, and that was basically zero restrictions on abortions. And I am glad to say that the abortion initiative failed and the pro-life initiative won. And the initiative was to put it as part of our Constitution, which is huge, because this means that the pro-choice movement, who has unlimited amounts of funding, can't and probably will not try to do anything else in the state of Nebraska, because now it's enshrined in our Constitution, and it's going to be very, very difficult for them to move forward. They've made huge progress, unfortunately, in several other states. Ohio, I think just last night they were saying that Arizona just voted for a pro-abortion initiative as well. I mean, like 7 or 8 states now have abortion as part of their constitution, their state constitution. Nebraska is the first one that has defeated it. So I'm very, very happy about that. And it's going to be a example for what people can do if they want to stand for life moving forward. All right, we got 2 minutes till open. We've swept this low here. Okay. Why am I marking that? Because we do have this nice little breaker here. Let's see if we get any displacement for a little push higher. I'm going to not be looking at that myself, but I'm just marking it. I'm not going to be taking any longs here, I can tell you that. I will be doing my 9:30 trade here. Let's see what happened. Okay, 41. Okay, 1 minute. All right, in and out right there, just made 200 bucks. I'm telling you, this 930 model thing, it's not bad. I mean, and literally most times you're in the trade for 5 seconds. Okay. Now that we've done that, let's go ahead and let's get down to business here. Again, here's our breaker. I mean, we're so extended already. It's like, do you really want to go long? Yes, there is this high up here. There is that high. But I need a much larger form of liquidity to be swept. I'm just not convinced of it. Jordy, what's the 930 model thing? I've been testing out a model right at 930, and so far it has roughly, I mean, on the high side, a 90% win rate. And the thing I like, I shared it yesterday, not the details of it because I'm not sharing it quite yet. I'm testing it. There's a nice push. There's the breaker. There's your high. That would be terminus in my opinion. I'd be selling right there if you did take that breaker. But it basically eliminates all guesswork for a brand new trader. I wanted to come up with a I wanted to do a model for a brand new trader that could start making money right away. Not gobs of money. No, are you going to get rich with this? No. Maybe you could. I mean, if you absolutely over leverage, which is a huge mistake. But it's a nice win. 80 to 90% of the time. So I'm doing more back testing on it and forward testing on it because I've back tested it, but back testing is just a little bit different than forward testing something. So I'm testing that out so that I can share this with new members of the community to basically get that itch. You know what I'm saying? When you start trading, you wanna scratch that itch of being profitable. And I want them to have the opportunity to start making money right away while they commit themselves to the long process, which is of learning how to day trade, because it is a long process. All right, so we got sweeps of these highs. We're at new highs here for the day. We have this previous day high sitting here from, let's see, what's that day? From October 30th, so last week. So this is the week high. Interesting. Let's go to the weekly time frame. I want you guys to take note of this. We will run that high, most likely. We did not, if you noticed, did not run the previous week low. I remembered that. And here's now the previous week high is sitting right here. So this, we're just gonna change this so it's abundantly clear. Previous week highs and previous day highs are the same thing. The previous week high is just on a higher time frame. So this is a previous week high, big level there. Now the question is, based on us not running the low, there's a good chance we're running this high and we could see some all-time highs here. This was an outside day here, in single break, single break, single break. So this is definitely the draw on liquidity for this morning. Yeah, that's the idea, Jordy, is to get that itch out of the way and allow people to start being patient, because trading is more about patience than it is about clicking the button. So if I can find, I'm sitting there thinking, how could I help somebody start seeing real numbers in their account while they're learning? How could you do that? And I think this may be it. I just don't want to jump the gun and start, pushing it. I don't want to push it. Yes. Oh yeah. Who said that? Good. Jordy said much respect to the wife. By the way, for you guys out there, she got reported to the Bar Association here in the state of Nebraska. Other attorneys who saw her ad basically were trying to get her in trouble for misleading voters. It was insane. She's gotten people that she's never done business with or done work for. She's an attorney. Never done work for, writing bad reviews for her business. Multiple. She's gotten horrible emails, horrible calls, people condoning her, or not condoning her, but just basically slamming her for how could she do that. It's quite the experience. Quite the experience. Now, I'm looking at this going like this before it hits. That's really what I want to see happen. I want a fair value gap to go long in. We honestly should probably drop down to the 30-second. There hasn't been an opportunity for a long here yet. Northern, good morning. Good morning, my friend. So from a daily perspective, definitely bullish. With the news of another Trump term, another Trump 4 years, it could be pretty bullish as well. So we have not had a day close above this daily fair value gap. Really, that is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, on a daily higher time frame perspective, does today, Wednesday, close above this daily fair value gap? If we close above this daily fair value gap, these highs are in play. We could just wick higher. We could run for this volume imbalance sitting here at 20,850, and we could 844, and we could just be looking for that. We just swept the previous week high, right? Let's see what kind of reactions we get at this point. Are we going to take something right here? No. Honestly, I would prefer, now that we've hit this, I want to see something like this. That's what I would want to see. I want to just be extra. I want to see structure. I'm not going to just take a straight shot lower. I want to see it push a little bit higher, sweep a little bit higher, act as if it wants to go higher, and then start showing displacement lower. Sandra, it's coming. It's coming. I'll be sharing it with you guys 100%. 100%. I'll be sharing with you guys the 930 model. Where's our single for a value gap? Did we get one? Yeah, we did. It is right here. Okay. So check on our fair value gap. First fair value gap of the day. By the way, it's Wednesday. Monday's way down here. Okay. I'm not even looking at that level right now. Okay. Here's our consolidation. I'm looking at anything prior as manipulation right now, unless we're on a trending day. I'm hoping it's not a trend day, to be honest. I really don't want another trend day. I'm not a fan of trending days. I'm a fan of hit my previous day high and give me a reversal. That's the kind of trading I like. Okay, we have an order block right overlapping with the previous day, or previous week and previous day high, or October 30th high. Up 36 what? $36? I knew that was going to happen. Oh, look at that just drop. Gold has dropped 100 points. I knew that was coming. Is this anticipation of the election. We're going to get a massive correction. Silver, probably a massive correction as well. Because now that Trump's elected, I mean, the confidence, in my opinion, this is me speculating, the confidence in the dollar is going to stay strong. Because he's a nationalist. Trump is a wholehearted nationalist. He's not a globalist. So he doesn't care about the global agenda. He wants nothing to do with it. So there's for those looking, there's gold. That's gold right there. No, I own gold. I don't trade gold. I own it. And as a hedge on the dollar crashing. I only trade the Nasdaq. What you see me here is all that I trade. I can't remember the last time I've traded something. Actually, no, I remember when I tested trading gold. I'm like, nah, I don't like it. Not a single fair value gap here. This is too small on the 30-second. There's nothing to go on the 1 minute, guys. Look at this 1 minute. Yes, you could take it short here, but what are you going to take a short towards? Down here? I mean, that's just, it's difficult to not have a spot where I can move my stop to break even. Where's my break even point? You could drop down to the 15-second. Let's see what's there. All right, so here would be a 15-second. A close below that, swing low right here. That's gonna work. That candle with this candle, I see that running right there. Let's see if it does it. Yep, there it is. It did not sweep it. That's some volatility. There's 945. That's 945 right there. Where do I buy it? I mean, I buy physical gold, Tony. So you have local dealers that will sell you gold if you want. You can buy, half ounce. You can buy a 1/10 of an ounce. Okay, so it technically did not sweep this level yet. A still valid trade. Looking at to see it run that level. Again, I'm on the 15-second, but there's not an opportunity. There's no fair value gap that it wicked up into. It did this inversion right here. Only thing we got to play off of right now is this order block. It's a bullish order block. I mean, there's nothing here other than just knowing that we hit a high point of liquidity. I'm really wanting this to give us another push higher right here. I really want that. We may not get it. We may stop at this fair value gap here, which would be overlapping with this breaker here. So let's see what happens. I mean, it's just I'm not seeing this is a beautiful structure. It's just not giving me potential entry points even on lower time frames. And I'm not going to force anything. Even on the 30-second, guys. Look at the 30-second. This would have been your opportunity, but you have this covered. You could have, and there was no fair value gap over here. You literally had to drop down to the 15-second to be able to see an opportunity. And I'm just not doing that. But, I mean, just note here that I did call this. I don't have enough experience with the 15-second. I think this is the third time I've looked at the 15-second with you guys on stream. I've done it before, but I mean, when you look at the 15-second and I see this right here, I got a fair value gap here, wick into that fair value gap. It was right here that I'm like, this is going to run. And yes, it did. I just didn't have an opportunity on a higher time frame that I'm more comfortable with to actually take that trade. Yeah, there's, for anybody that was looking at short, if you have another entry mechanism, it printed right there. And our only short opportunity in my book is right here. And if we do a standard deviation for one standard deviation, that gives us right to there. That's not impossible. That's not bad. That could be a nice opportunity. Run to midnight open. That would be nice. Let's see what we have on ES here. ES is already has already ran this low. Yeah, there is no correlation in the markets. There's zero correlation. Here's what ES looks like right here. This is ES. Okay, ES and Q. Look how high it went. It went nowhere. And then it just fell. All right, let's see if we can. I'm open to taking a short on this to this low. We got 10 seconds if it wants to give it to us. We did sweep a little liquidity here. It doesn't look like it's going to give that to us. What does the 30-second look like? Okay, we do have a 30-second here. We can, if it closes below this 30-second, I think that might work as well. Okay, it already ran that low, so no opportunity there. At this point, we are just looking for a retracement like we saw right here into some bearish order block. Now's not the time to take a bearish trade. We just swept these lows. We need to see how it wants to react. I mean, I expect it to start moving, but there's a retest of that level. What does the 1 minute look like? So 1 minute just closed. It did sweep this low, so it just makes this not as of attractive trade. I would not be taking that. This was our target, right? And hoping that it would want to push lower, not a wick below it, close below the inversion, and then take the trade. No. You get stuff like this, and it could go back higher. It could go even higher. So not interested in that. Pete, well, that might be it for me. Should sign for another eval. What's your question mark? I don't understand. Oh, Pete, better than me. I see 20 and start spamming if I'm stopped. Don't hit first. Praise God for patience. Just cleared that short top to bottom. Way to go. This is a nice breaker. It's just really low for me. This could drop right here. I just don't. We already swept this. I do see the draw on liquidity as being lower. This being the breaker right here. Oh, I don't blame you. Once you have a little cushion, be done for the day. If you want to get another eval and do that same thing, absolutely. I do that all the time. When I have a nice level, sometimes your psychology shifts when you're like, oh, I got a good amount. And then you keep trading and you end up losing it. Getting a different account and building that, trading based off that mentality of not over trading that account, that's a good thing. Now, the thing you got to be careful of is when I did this, I would overtrade. I would overtrade because I do that on multiple accounts, and then at that point, I'm just trading. So you got to be careful on that, Pete. It is not a bad idea, but it can be abused, is what I'm trying to say. Man, I wish there was some type of entry for me to take there. Maybe there was on the 2-minute. I never checked the 2-minute. There would have been one right here on the 2-minute. And it would have passed in 4 minutes, so you'd have been a 4-minute trade. Why didn't I look at the 2-minute, folks? I was going between the 15, 30 second, and 1 minute. Why didn't I look at the 2-minute? What about the 3-minute? 3-minute was would have been a little too much. So the 2-minute looked had an opportunity there. There's a rejection of 930. I do like this running lower. I don't know if my micro is working. It's not. There it is. Seeing if it was going to close above this. If it pushes higher, I'm going to close that. I don't like that close. Son of a gun. I don't like how big that is. I think what I might be doing is reducing risk. There we go. Come on.
Order submitted.
And take contracts off there. I want to see this push and run. Okay, stopped out. That's fine. That was a higher risk. I wasn't too happy with my decision on taking that. Large hourly wick above. Wait for the close. It should have ran that low, and because it didn't, I'm sitting out now. Low resistance liquidity right here. Expecting some type of retracement. I would be looking at this level right here. As far as retracement. That's sitting right here. And then we got this fair value gap right here that the equilibrium overlaps nicely with. All right, so here's what, if I'm looking at this 5 minute, I want to see the 5 minute rebalance this 5 minute fair value gap. That would be nice. And then a push lower. Who mentioned the 5 minute here? Northern. I like that, but I want it to come up into this 5 minute fair value gap. When it comes up into this 5 minute fair value gap, that will give it the energy to potentially move lower. And then if it gives us that, I'm going to look for an inversion to the downside. Now we've created some relatively equal lows. So if we can get something that looks like this with some type of inversion right there that overlaps with this level here, which is a breaker, that would be beautiful. That would be nice. Now I'm not taking this. I'm not going short right when it runs into this level. Honestly, it probably a better short than me taking that short down here. But I'm going to wait for a 1 minute change of state of delivery. I want to see that we find resistance here at this breaker. We do have that small 1 minute right there, and then there's a 30-second right here. We do have this 30-second long right here towards this swing high. It's not a bad long right here. But I'm not taking it simply because it's overlapping with this breaker. Let's see if we get a close on this 30-second below. All right, so no close on that 30-second. Two-minute will look nice as well if we got this fair value gap that stays right here. So the 5-minute just rebalanced that. 15-minute just looks like some hamburgers. And the hourly is a nice bearish wick candle. That's interesting. That's not bad. Does this right there? What was that drawdown? If I took that stab right at that entry, it would have been an 18 handle drawdown. I wouldn't have wanted done that. Wouldn't have wanted that. $30-second right here. I kind of want this right now. I want it to come back and retest this and then run lower, leaving a fair value gap there. Don't know if we're going to get that. Low. We got equal lows down here. One minute's about to close in 12 seconds. So 30-second looks nice. I'm going to take a short right here. Let's see if it wants to give it to us real quick.
Order submitted.
Rule is if we close above that, I'll close the trade. not liking the way that's looking, but we're gonna follow the rules. All right, there's 15 handles on that trade right there. And that did not copy on all my accounts. Son of a biscuit. That's annoying. All right, that's fine. Ignore that. A win's a win. A win is a win. We have this last 30-second fair value gap that's right here. And that's kind of what's been holding, that's holding price right now. Isn't that crazy that a 30-second is overlapping with that? Here we go. 30-second right there. Yeah, it's definitely not as smooth as all of this, Sandra. That's for sure. This is not bad. It's an A-. We didn't sweep liquidity here. We did sweep liquidity here. So you can use this as a play to this high. The only downside is we've already hit previous day high, so I don't like that. I'm not going to take that. And it comes into this bearish breaker, which is at that previous week high. So I don't like that as much. There's just better trades out there that I want to wait for. I'm going to exercise discipline. Keep my hand off the trigger. So we had one. We took 2 trades. How many trades have we taken? We had a partial win on trade number 1, and we got a full win, 15 handles on trade number 2. I did take the 930 model this morning, which was a win as well, so 3 for 3. I mean, not as nice and not as convincing as I'd like my trades to be. Watch that level there for a push higher into that first fair value gap. This is reading order flow. I'm not taking it because it's going against my bias. Not my bias, but it's going against the fact that we hit what I believe is our buy side objective. Previous week high. I need to be convinced that it has a higher objective before I really want to consider taking along. Right now, what I'm interested in is looking for a setup that wants to fill this giant opening range gap, or at least to the midpoint, down to October 28th, the new week opening gap from the beginning of the week. Right? 2 weeks ago. No opportunity there. It did run that, but who's going to take that trade? Nobody. That's why I didn't. I wasn't interested. I'll be right back, folks. Use the restroom. Tony, in the first 30 minutes, there's a 70% chance that the midpoint of that opening range gap gets filled. So we're past that. So now I'm just using it as an opportunity, as a draw on liquidity. But the main interest has been passed. By 10 o'clock, the main interest is passed. Here's a 30-second long right here. There's your entry. Target would be up here at the midpoint of the gap or of the fair value gap. We'll watch that and see how that plays out. $15 handles is what it would be. See if it gives it to us. Okay, so I'm removing this breaker because that's irrelevant at this point. Definitely staying on the bullish side of things. Swept that low. So by no means do I think we are going to run all the way down here and tag this new previous day high. I don't think we're going to get that low. But when we run our previous week high, we have all of this that needs to be filled with sell side delivery. Some of it has happened. I mean, we have this portion of sell side delivery, but we haven't had anything down here on this lower half. And that's really where I'm looking as for opportunity. Where do we want to go? Definitely bullish price action though, folks. Definitely bullish price action. no entry on that 30-second one. No entry. I mean, I wouldn't have taken it knowing that we hit this high. It's just not part of my model. I'm looking forward to the day to get another 50 handle run. Just my model hasn't given me a 50 handle move yet. This breaker, yeah, you could have done this breaker for this retracement right here. I didn't like the size of the stop loss that I would have had to set. We're also at 10:18. We're outside the macro. These would have been nice. This order block would have been nice right here. Nice delivery into that. I just wouldn't have taken it. I'm not taking it to a previous week high that we've already ran. There's more value in me exercising discipline on not taking a pattern and really trying to take trades in regards to order flow. Now, obviously, I was wrong on my 2 winning trades on lower prices here and here. And price is moving higher. But as a fundamental way of looking at price action, you have to look at previous week and previous day highs as a point of support or resistance. So either we run it and then we sweep it like this. This was a great move. I just didn't have my model presented anywhere that made sense. Okay? We missed out. That's fine. Here, I'm looking for the continuation and the fill of this opening range gap on this push lower. We didn't get it. Got partial profits taken. That's fine. Stopped out at break even. Taking this short on this inversion towards these lows. Didn't get it. Swept one swing low. That's fine. Got 15 handles. But all with the idea that we swept this high. And we could see lower prices. Now that we're coming back up to it, I want to see how we react to this level. I need to know, are we going to find support and move higher? Are we going to sweep this high and then run lower? That's why I'm looking at this previous week high. Now, if you go back at if you look at data just on a daily time frame, if you drop down to the 30-minute, let's just do the 30-minute here. Here, we're waiting. I'm gonna jump to another chart here because it'll look nice on this chart. And we can talk through some of this stuff. So these are all the previous day highs. This is what I did when I did all my back testing. I found all my previous day highs and then I watched how it reacted to those levels. So you guys, some of you probably saw the video on previous day highs. So here's one where we open above the previous day high, just like we did this morning. It pumps higher and then it comes back down here, tags it again, and then moves higher, fills this volume or this fair value gap, and then just retraces above. Okay. Outside days, there's a 50% chance that we are going to run back down. There's a 50% chance that we run back down to this previous day high. 50% chance. Now we're so high, I don't see that happening. And we're in such a bullish environment, Trump winning. I mean, that's for the market wants Trump to win. I can guarantee you that. So there's just a lot of bullish narrative that this does not look probable. But even with a bullish environment, I'm not going to take a long based on us already sweeping this previous week. Did I have that low? Previous week high. Let's look at some other examples here. So here's a 930. Here's a 930 where we wick higher, come back down, run a little bit lower, and then we just continue higher for the rest of the day. But we didn't have a previous week high that we ran. So we're in a unique spot that I just need to see how we react to that previous week high. Javon, good morning. Tony, trading ES might make more sense. Those wicks on NQ are a bit crazy. I know, but I like it. I just gotten so used to it. ES, let's see what ES would have done if we would have taken an opportunity here. All right, so where's 930? Here's 930. 930 opens lower, sweeps this low. What are we on? That's the 1 minute. Here's a 1 minute inversion that fails. No 1 minute target for a short. No 1 minute long here. There's your entry right there. That would have been the trade to take depending on if we swept a key level. So we would have swept a previous day low right here. Previous day low is sitting right there from Wednesday of last week. So it could have been a previous week low. By all means. Swept it, breaker, inversion, long to this high, you'd still be in it. And it hasn't completed quite yet. But even if you just were to take that long right here and sell at this low, that's 7 handles. That's $350 with one contract. So not bad. That'd have been a nice setup. Best one for the morning on ES. Way better than looking at this where we didn't sweep a low. We just swept the low of the morning at 925. And we didn't really get an inversion here for it. So yeah, ES was cleaner this morning. NQ is a little more sloppy. Nice little manipulation with the push higher. Sweep these equal lows. Inversion that didn't give you an opportunity for an entry. mean, this looks nice for a long. I'm not going to lie. It really does. We look at this is a manipulation for a lower move. We have a nice a breaker type setup. I don't think it actually is a breaker. It's more of a mitigation block. And then this push higher. We wick down into this 3-minute fair value gap. I mean, it's pregnant for a push towards this buy side liquidity right now. So based on order flow, how this looks, I think we should run this buy side. Are we going to run it right now? I don't know. I mean, based on the way it looks, this fair value gap should support price to get it to this high. And it looks like we're about to hit it. 5-minute also found some support in this fair value gap and then pushed higher. I would have been interested in a play like this if we did not hit this previous week high already. This previous week high is the reason why I'm not trading this push higher. Especially this wick right into here. Actually, not even that. I would have been right here. This breaker or this order block right here looked really nice. Finding support in this inversion fair value gap. That's where I would have taken a long. And I talked through some of that earlier. I just wasn't going to take that when we already swept this previous week high. Matt, good morning. Long time. How you doing? Where you been? What you been up to? Crushing it, I hope. So look at this price action here to right here. Just now it's just creeping back and forth. I want to stay out of that. Not interested in anything like this. I know it's hard to tell between this and the rest of this, but this is definitely different than all of this. Okay? It definitely looks different. And the more you watch the charts, the more you'll be able to recognize this compared to all of this right here. Now, I'm just disappointed that I didn't get a proper setup in this beautiful market maker buy a sell model. I mean, this is a textbook market maker sell model. It just didn't give me the fair value gaps I needed on the 30 and 1 minute time frames. I called out the 15 second. I mean, if we drop down to this 15 second, man, maybe I should mess around with a 15 second because this was textbook. I called the short right on that candle right there. It wasn't exactly up here, but this candle right here, I called the short. Because it went into that, hit this down, or this candle right here, inside this fair value gap, and then boom. That would have been beautiful. Now, I know that price is fractal, and you get the same type of price action on the 15. I just don't have the history is the right word. I don't have the history with the 15 second like I do with the 1 minute. And if I'm going to take trades like this, I'm talking to myself right now, and just for you guys as well, You want to build history with a time frame. You want to build history with the charts so that when you see it, you have the confidence. I just don't have that history on the 15 second. Now, seeing trades like this begins to build that history for me. We hit a very key level. Wasn't seeing anything on the 1 minute, on the 30 second, the 15 second had a textbook entry right here. Even just towards that low, if we got in on the close of that candle, which would have been a proper entry, that would have been 32 handles to that swing low. 33 handles. That's enough. That's enough right there. Oh, that happens, man. On Northern, I've had where I've been in a trade and then Apex disconnects or TradingView disconnects or whatever like that. It happens from time to time, and it definitely is nerve-wracking. All right, so we swept buy side, and we have quite the rejection immediately. I like this trade right there.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order submitted.
Don't sweep that low. Come on. Not liking this. Come on. Technically, it's up here. I don't like how large these are, but we're going to follow the rules. It's on the 1 minute here. Are we going to close above it? Okay, it closed above. I'm going to close the trade. Could still work out, but I'm not going to play that. It invalidated my trade. You see it right there. And it's now working out. That's okay. There it is. Nice. Boy, does that sting. That stings. That's okay. No, I didn't. I followed my rules. I followed the rules. Now, so you can say I jumped out too quick, but I've had this where I've waited just to see what would happen, and then the next candle goes 10 handles higher, and then now I'm really screwed because I didn't follow my rules. I will take that, and I'll take the loss. I'll just do that. You have to. The rules are the rules. Now, there's times when you can ignore the rules. That may have been one of those. I've just had it hurt me in the past where I didn't want to take it. Does that suck or what? Holy freaking crap. That sucks. Oh, I'll look for something to take. I just need it to come back up here. I am still green. But that those hurt. Those hurt. So we have a 5-minute closing here shortly. The 5-minute change in state of delivery is right there. Okay, it's at 10:40. We're about to come up to a macro. I would have let that sucker run too. That was... Ugh. Institutional order flow entry drill right there. Reckless me would want to take a short right here. I'm saying that out loud so I don't take a short. That's the main reason. It's a wide stop loss. I've done that before where it's like I'm not willing to take on the risk of a wick back up to here or even up to here. That's the main thing. Yeah, it looks like a market maker sell model for sure. Because we do have this inversion right here to this low. Let me see. I need to see. If we're in discount, I might change my mind. Or we're in premium. So we're still in premium. This is not a bad short. That's nice too. It 100% looks like a
Order submitted.
market maker sell model here.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
CM, good morning. Let's see how it reacts off of this order block right here and this first fair value gap. Got these equal lows sitting right here. I want to see that ran. See if we can find resistance at this fair value gap or not. Would still be part of this trade of going short right here towards this low or this low down here with a stop loss sitting there, close above that. We could reach back up to all the way up here. Looks like that's what it wants to do right now. Nice close on that order block. I'd like to see that reject right now. That's really nice. Let's see if we can get this to push through these levels. Okay, we took a short on that. See if we can hit that low right there. Come on. I'm gonna be really disappointed if that doesn't hit. Oh, come on. That sucks. I tried to take that, guys, and it didn't give it to me. Why is it not selling?
Order submitted.
Come on.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
All right, I closed that. Took size off of there and holding 2 more contracts.
Order submitted.
Need to see it close below that for a continuation. Nice close. Let's see if it wants to drop right here. A close out of this position will be a close above this fair value gap. If we close above this fair value gap, I will close the position. Got a immediate rebalance. Let's see if it wants to find resistance there. Yeah, I do like that. I'm taking one more profit there in case we want to stop before and just consolidate here and not run the lows. So let's see what happens here. Nice rejection. Let's see if we can get another rejection here. There is a fair value gap sitting right there. I will sell one more position if we close above that there in 3 seconds. All right, I closed one more position. Have one runner left. See if it wants to run lower. There's that breaker that I marked out. Let's see if it wants to find resistance there. We got multiple reasons for it to stop there. So let's see if we can keep this open. I'd like this fair value gap to stay open, obviously. Obviously. All right, stopped out. In profits.
Order submitted.
Now it's gonna run on me. Stop my break even by, oh yeah, look at that. By what? A handle?
Order canceled.
That sucks. That was a quick stop. When you get something like that, man, you hit the level, reject, inversion, fair value gap. I'm going to take that and I'm going to try it. That's okay. Let me think. It's just getting sloppy. Did you guys see that inversion that it made on the 30-second? Right there, and then closed it. Now it's running below it again. This is sloppy. Sloppy. You know what I've noticed though? Is that when we have an inversion and we immediately invalidate it into a breaker, it works. I've seen that happen multiple times. I'm just now catching on to it. No, I see lower prices personally. We swept the previous week high twice and could not push higher. So it tells me that we're either staying in this range or we could move lower. It's 11 a.m. though. Now, the back and forth price action is definitely increasing here. The wicks are larger. So we could see price. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if we see price come back up to this level again and then run lower. If it wasn't so wicky, I'd be looking at this level right here as an order block to go short. What does a 2-minute look like? Yeah. So 5-minute did not close. It closed inside. Did it close? No, it closed below. And we have a 3-minute that closed below as well. And then it just became invalid. So price is becoming a little more sloppy. And being green on the day, I think I'm gonna call it a day and not trade the sloppy. Definitely some areas that I can see for improvement for myself. I mean, I want to become, obviously, I feel like I have so much room to grow as a trader. So if I'm looking at some of these things, I was sitting here watching this level right here. And I was trying, so for those that want to stay, you're welcome to stay. I'm going to be done trading. I'm logging out and I'm just going to talk about some of these trades because we have to improve ourselves and get better. So when I'm looking at this trade or this breaker right here, I'm thinking to myself, that would have been an amazing entry. Obviously, I didn't take that entry. And I don't think I would have taken it. I mean, just look at what price was like right there. This was price. This is what price looked like at that point. I would have not taken that. I would have had that there, but when I saw this candle right here, I would have been like, okay, that's very not bearish right now. If it had a large down close candle and then came back up this way to that level, I may have been more interested in that. But we displaced a lot and left a very small candle. So if we step through this, this becomes very clear that this is now again bearish. And then it gives us, and this is what I'm looking at, is this order block right here. This is what I think I would have done differently, is seeing this order block created that touched this, I would have looked at an entry at this order block. And if we let price play out here, there's our entry with a wick into that order block, rejecting that first fair value gap. So putting an entry somewhere in here with your stop. So let's just say you get at the bottom of the fair value gap. A 17 handle stop with your target. Obviously you'd want to go somewhere down there, but your target probably closer to that low right there. That's the wrong one, guys, sorry. So I would say midpoint of the breaker block of that candle right there. So 22 handles. Make your size appropriate, and then putting your target at this low right here. 37 handles. You would have seen this candle come up into it, close on that order block again. So we wicked into the order block, entry opportunity, rejection of that order block, and then we run aggressively the other direction. To me, this would have been the only way I could have played this breaker, because I would have never played that breaker on its own because of how the previous candle looked. That previous candle was had a lot of bullish features. So I see that breaker and I see the confirmation of this order block as the entry opportunity. Because we still could have reached up into this fair value gap. This is really what I was looking at. I always look at this highest fair value gap and I go, all right, this could wick all the way up into there. I want to be careful. Because you'll see a big move and then sometimes it'll come back up to that level. As far as inversion opportunities, this inversion failed right here. Here's a 1 minute inversion that failed right there. It became active, it failed, and then it dropped. The best trade that I'm probably the most disappointed in is this one up here. Was seeing us run buy side liquidity right here at this previous day high, and then an immediate rejection in 2 candles below that fair value gap. What does the 30-second look like? Oh my gosh. That would have changed it, guys. This is why we have to go back and look. Dang it. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing there? So in comparison, here's the 1 minute. And there's the 30-second. That was the 1 minute fair value gap in comparison to the 30-second. Now, I usually, one of my rules is that usually the higher time frames are superior to the lower time frame. But when you have a 1 minute and 30-second overlapping, I should have given it this room. So there's the close below right here. That would have been a 13 handle stop loss. That's not horrible. That's compared to some of these others that I've held. I've held 15 handle drawdowns and it still work out. So 13 handles is doable. And it stayed under in the discount portion of this 30-second fair value gap. So looking back, I should have still been in this trade and been able to capitalize on this handsomely. Because that entry was here. That would have been 16 handles. To that low would have been 38 handles. We waited for the right move. The thing I need to take away, and the thing I'm putting in my journal, is I waited for the right time. We swept this low. We missed all of this opportunity here because there wasn't a clear entry. I didn't take any of this long because I'm like, well, we just hit a previous week high. I'm not interested in trying to take that. We waited for it to sweep. It became very clear very quickly in the first two candles that it didn't want to move higher and it aggressively moved the other direction. So as far as timing, the thing I'm putting in my journal is my timing was great. My timing for the best opportunity, I was in that opportunity. My analysis on where I'm taking my stop loss was not on track, was not as good as it could have been. I took it on the close of the 1 minute, which had such a small stop loss compared to the 30 second, and the 30 second seemed more appropriate. I mean, when I just compare the two, there's no doubt when I compare the two and I'm looking at the two between the 30 second and the here, let me just do this here. When I compare the 30 second here with this 1 minute, it just makes more sense to accept the 30 second because we also have this volume imbalance in here as well. And so what am I doing right now? I'm building history by verbally and taking time over this missed opportunity so that I can capitalize on it on the next time. Guys, I'm nowhere near I want to be. I'm nowhere near where I want to be. And this is an example of a trade that I feel like I could have done significantly better on. So I need to take this missed opportunity and learn from it so that I can capitalize on it better. I'm glad with my analysis on waiting for not taking a long. Watching it sweep this high aggressively in this candle right here and then turning around immediately and closing it. That's a beautiful signature and price that you should take a picture of and keep track of it. You will see this work out a lot. I just followed my rule on a wrong time frame that should have been on the 30 second. So I know a bunch of you are like, "Oh, don't close it. Wait, it's going down." I mean, I thought so too. I followed my rules. And that's what I'm teaching. I'm teaching following rules on this. I think those are the obvious ideas there. Look at that. We came back up to the breaker. No surprise. This is what it happens all the time. It does this. So we can use this as a second opportunity for a short. When you identify the correct breaker, these can be tagged 2 or 3 times. So you can see that it tagged there. The only concern I would have had would have been up here is that. So maybe you take a smaller position and put your stop loss. And I think I need to start doing that. I think I'm going to do more of those types of trades. What am I doing? There we go. Stop loss would be there. And you go for basically a 1-to-1 ratio. So you'd go for a 19 handle move. On those types of trades. This one is more likely. I would more be likely. I mentioned that I'd be more likely to take a trade like this than I would to take that breaker, because this candle just would basically say don't take it. There's too much risk. This is more interesting. But then you have to consider wicking up into this. That's what you have to be careful about. And you also have to have a bearish bias. So the bias is we already hit a previous week high. I don't think we want to go higher analysis, and then you take that entry right there. You could go up to the 2-minute here. And then there would be your 2-minute fair value gap. Yeah, that would have been nice. These are the trades I want to get better at. I know there's lots of opportunity, and these are low-risk trades. I just need to take them. I just need to reduce my risk, and I need to take those. I think I'm going to journal that as well, because I want to take more of these types of trades. And yeah, take my inversions, but I want to do less with the inversions and more of these. These are less risk trades. Inversions are great. I can move my stop to break even. But if you've noticed, when you're taking the inversion, you're taking the inversion way down here when your short was up here. I love when I get inversions up here because those are very high probable or have a high probability. These ones are a little more difficult to trade, and you get stopped out more frequently on trades in the middle, inversions on the middle of the range. And then when you're doing the bottom of the range, the low end of the range, you have an issue of now you're just playing breakouts. So you can move your stop to break even. Those trades are very aggressive and really fun to be in. But you can get stopped out on those often as well. It's these trades that are less risk, are slower they're not as volatile, and they work. But there's times where they don't work. If you're in a bullish environment and you take this, it just goes right through it, and then you get tagged. So seeing the previous day high here, sweeping buy side liquidity here, having your breaker here, I think that's a good opportunity that I'm going to journal. And even just talking it out here. Yeah. I think we're going to call it a day there, guys. I'm going to write some of this stuff down, do my own journaling, and we'll be done for the day. I think it was a decent day. We're green on the day. We'll be back here tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow is Thursday. We have unemployment claims at 8:30 and FOMC at 2:30. So tomorrow is going to be pretty volatile, especially after 2 p.m. tomorrow is going to be fun. We'll probably sit and watch or trade an eval because there's a lot of volatility, or you just do a single micro and you play a single micro type trade, because I mean you can get 50 to 100 handles very, very quickly. So all right, folks, we're going to call it a day. Thanks for being here, folks. I appreciate all of you. Enjoy hanging out with you. We will see you all tomorrow. Take care.